Hello, my dear people. I greet you and welcome you back. For this session, we want to briefly look at another aspect of the claims by Jeremiah from his report regarding the statement he gave when the case started, as we have seen through prophets. So I'm just deliberating, thinking aloud here with you guys. So he said, according to him, the the child does not exist because he said from the investigation that was done in 2019, and he actually referred to the times with the persecuted Ahmed is a person that there is no proof of the existence of that child. So the question that Prefects asked, which I want to reiterate here, because if the child didn't exist, what was the meaning of this statement by Jeremiah?
If this baby comes out, what will you do? I will rededicate myself to God. You rededicate? I will rededicate myself to you. If this baby. Now the enemy is the Lord said, he said the baby, he has set confusion among the people that who causes calamity. But I'm telling you, hey, listen, take this my word. Even 1 second to this Mutorano, this baby that missing, you hear a good news. I mean, even 1 second to this month. I am what I have seen in the realm of the spirit. I'm seeing. How can you accuse him?
So that's Jeremiah and his prophecy or confession, as we would prefer to say it is, because that's what it was. What did he mean? He wrote that statement ages ago that there was no child who was missing. And then this prophecy or confession. And guys, what I have seen in the realm of the spirit, he saw it in the realm of the spirit. And there is no child in existence. The thing that breaks my heart the most is the fact that this man parodies himself as a child of God, as a custodian of the Christian faith. He's one people look up to. People call him Papa. People go before him, kneel down for him to pray for them. And the lies this man has repeatedly told regarding this one case. No sooner he recanted all these words that he said. He said regarding this child, there would be good news. But he came later and said, no, that wasn't what he said. I don't know, maybe someone has heard or seen. There was another family whose child is missing and Jeremiah's shrine is directly involved. That is in the news. Because we really need to get this clear. What child did he refer to in this confession? What child was that? Which child? And why, if the child did not exist? The findings, the investigation that was done secretly, which nobody is aware, there's no record of it anywhere. What child is this referring to? Please, guys, help me out here. If you have heard, I will gladly apologize. If you've heard about a story or case of any family else whose child is lost, but you and I know that he was referring to baby testimony. Those were the days when they had God's love in their pocket. And Ogala creature was running about, giving them, feeding them bit by bit with information that they knew where the child was. But if you do know anything contrary, please help us. But I thank God because at the end of the day, these people have continued to tie themselves, to wrap themselves around with every single thing that they present. Only a severely mentally impaired, mentally sick human will not see through everything that has come from those people regarding this case. It is apparent. Well, I thank God that even if Ruth Matthew were to be lying, that she went there with the child and she didn't, I do not think her other children, including her stepdaughter, including her wayward husband, would claim that there was no child. If there was no child, what child was Ayo Alfred referring to that Emmanuel Marcos and Ruth Matthew knew his location? What child was that? If there was no child. At least he would have confirmed with them. So there is too much going on that just indicate the bare facts are there. That's why it beats my imagination that a whole commissioner of police could be so reckless to endorse such case with his name, his reputation at stake. Of course, they don't care because they switch them around like the way you change your underwear. Sooner or later, he'll be gone. Someone else would come because everybody needs to get a piece of this money that is being thrown around in Delta State. So he would go and someone else would come and continue to have a piece of the cake. But you and I know that that child, baby testimony, is a child who was 2.5 or thereabouts in April 2019 when he disappeared from the Mercy Shrine. His mother had him. We've heard the testimony of how he was born, how a good Samaritan showed up and paid the hospital bills. Also, that reminds me, yes, the doctors, the nurses, the people who worked at the hospital where this child was born, these are all living witnesses that there is a child who was born. He may not have been registered in any local government authorities because not everybody does that. I remember a few years ago, people who were asking how they could get themselves registered because they lived abroad and they needed to do something. So not everyone gets to register as babies, as children. So at the end of the day, those people are alive. The hospital where he was born, the doctor shouldn't be dead. I know that money answers all things and money will make things vanish. So records may have been expunged, may have been erased, people may have been paid to say otherwise. But there will be someone who's pure, who's holy, who actually fears God. So all those people, not everyone, would have been bought. So guys, we know that Ruth Matthew had 4 children prior to going to the Mercy Shrine for whatever event she went for. And eventually, the youngest of them disappeared. She returned without that child, and she's still she and the other children are still waiting to receive that child, just like the rest of the world is waiting. Baby Testimony is a human being, he's alive, he's kicking, I believe, and by the grace of God, he will be found. God bless you.